Hi, how are you? I guess you may have heard that this is Mental Health Awareness Month, the month of May, Mental Health Awareness Month, and you may have seen some helpful stuff out there to help guide us through that whole process. And I'm going to talk to you just for a few minutes about your mental health. And I want to talk to you about it in a way that's positive. We don't have to get to the point where we feel as though we've got a major problem to be taking care of our mental health. The topic I've chosen for today is the topic of feeling overwhelmed. Now, I hold my hands up because that's something that can happen to me. And I suppose one of the things that I've worked on over the years is thinking about, am I overwhelmed or am I over functioning? And I think that's a great question to ask yourself. Now, the truth is, sometimes we are overwhelmed. You know, things happen in our lives, things go wrong. All of a sudden, there's a lot of conflicting demands. Maybe you don't know which way to turn, and so on. So I appreciate that overwhelm is a genuine state. And sometimes we need to recognize that for sure. And there's a whole set of things that we can do around that in terms of asking for support and taking care of ourselves and all of those things. So ever so important. But I wanted today to just talk about that difference and the over-functioning and whether sometimes we actually get our own selves into this state of feeling overwhelmed because we're trying to do everything. So if you are someone who takes responsibility for everything and everyone, if you are someone who really feels like genuinely you can probably do it better than the people around you, if you have high standards for how something should be done, if you never have time for yourself or time to even slow down a bit, then chances are you're falling into the over-functioning set of behaviors. So short video, I'm just going to give you a couple of things to try. And the first one is a very practical one of prioritizing. Okay, so none of us can do everything. We can do anything, but we can't do everything. So it's about thinking about pausing when we feel overwhelmed. Pause and say, this is where I'm at. These are the demands. These are the things I think I have to do. Okay, notice I mentioned think. Which is going to make the biggest impact? Which is the most important thing for me to focus on right now? Can't focus on everything at once. And that's what happens when we get overwhelmed. We're trying to think of everything. Which is the most important? Where do I start? How do I make progress with that? So that's a very practical way that you can do something. And then secondly, and you may not be surprised by this during Mental Health Awareness Week, is about saying to yourself, I've got all of these things and I am not indispensable. Now, if you've had a history of thinking of yourself as the one that gets everything done, this is going to be a little bit of a leap. But think about it. Think the evidence that we all have. Think about the pandemic. Think about major things that happen in our lives when actually we can't do something. We can't do those things anymore. And the world still carries on. People still manage to survive. So sometimes we really do have to withdraw from all that and just take care of ourselves. I think the kind of gone fishing, not that I ever go fishing, sign is quite a good one to say to ourselves, this is it, I'm opting out. And the opt-out can be a few minutes, or it could be a couple of hours or a day or whatever it is. It's that period of time that you need to close up shop and just say, I'm not doing, I need to take care of me. So one practical idea about prioritizing, and one life-saving idea about taking care of yourself. I'll be really interested to see if you can try those, if you get any results from those. Please post. It'd be lovely to hear from you. See you again this week with some more things about positive mental health.